Rated M for mature.
It's the spookiest month of the year when everyone likes to play dress up, and let's face it, making sure you look cool in front of your co-op buddies is at least 100% of the point of Zombie Army 4. So let's gokwan the heck out of this and break down how to rock your best Halloween chic in the Dead War. A very spooky hello from the candlelit spires of Castle Rebellion, where cursed souls can break their hex by subscribing to our channel, and in the process they'll make sure they don't miss our new vids every week. And just in case it wasn't abundantly clear already that we're embracing the Halloween spirit, yes, it is the spookiest month of the year, and later on in the month there'll be some appropriately horrifying Zombie Army 4 content to mark the occasion, so stay tuned to the channel for more on that. Right now though, we're showing you how to be maximum Halloween in Zombie Army 4. We've got to start with getting the costume right, haven't we? Traditionally, All Hallows Eve is a time where we honour the traditions of our Gaelic ancestors by dressing up as Borat and eating bright orange versions of whatever Mr. Kipling comes up with. And while we haven't figured out how to feed Boris French fancies yet, we can certainly dress the cast up to look the part. Blood-soaked skins are a good place to start. I mean, they're soaked in blood. Doesn't get much spookier than that. But there's also something deeply distressing about some of these gas masks, from the sinister cat whose unfeeling eyes are the last thing you see before your cupboard doors burst open, to this horrific sack straight out of the orphanage. Start as you mean to go on. Get your character of choice decked out for the season. So your character's looking the part. Good. But if they're running about popping off the undead with this Nerf-looking toy skin on their shotgun pistol, the whole creepy house of cards falls down a bit, doesn't it? Think of weapon skins and charms as a kind of walk-in wardrobe for your weapon. A place where you can use your stylistic choices to say to the world, I'm somebody who really likes Halloween. And also, I found myself in the middle of a zombie apocalypse and spend most of my time shooting, so my gun is pretty important to me, yes, thanks for noticing. Obviously, blood-soaked skins are once again your first port of call here, but there's actually quite a lot from the world of the macabre waiting inside the charms selection menu. I mean, a bloody saw blade isn't exactly Sesame Street, is it? You've got options then. By now, you're probably looking as Halloween as a massive queue of people in morph suits outside a nightclub that's charging 20 quid to get in. If you're looking to go further than just playing dress up when you're stomping on corpses or letting off some melee-induced steam this Halloween, then you can do no better than by playing as Hector. Arguably the most lively of the cast of undead in Zombie Army 4, Hector is a deceased British aviator who somehow managed to avoid becoming a mindless brain muncher when Hitler unleashed his diabolical Plan Z upon the world. And it's in that same world where Hector puts on a jolly good show of his own making, sporting a rather fetching aviator's outfit and an accent that would make a PG Woodhouse character sound rather gauche.
Yeah, bloody good show.
It does seem slightly bizarre to witness him casually chatting with living survivors whilst slowly decomposing, but sometimes, in order to beat the zombie, one must become the zombie. Tally-ho! Ah, Transylvania. Has there ever been a more appropriate setting to take on the legions of the undead at Halloween than this? Part of the first season of DLC for the game, Blood Count has you visiting the iconic Count Dracula territory, whose features include an authentic period creepy mansion complete with blood-soaked bookshelf, a large basement excellent for storing numerous vats of blood and devilish machinery, and also a giant underground drill that can bore itself into the centre of the earth. What's not to love here? As the name suggests, Blood Count's theme is, well, pretty bloody, so expect to see copious amounts of the red stuff as you traverse through endless blood fountain fights and horrific hemoglobin-inspired scenery. The creepers make an unwelcome return, this time looking more like vampiric bats, and Blood Count offers you a new character to play in the form of Werner, whose Teutonic outlook on life may or may not be inspired by a certain Mr. Van Helsing. We'll let you be the judge.
Exercise is key.
Although it's usually only this time of year that gets us thinking about ghouls, ghosts and all things Halloween, the team here at Rebellion have made sure that Zombie Army 4 is filled to the brim with horror movie references for you to enjoy all year round. Maybe you fancy a trip to Ash's cabin in the woods from Evil Dead, complete with a bespoke Deadite saying hello to you from the cellar. You'll find that in the Hunt for Dr. Schweiger chapter of Meat Locker. Or do you want to witness a red balloon float away from Stephen King's It into the same level's Into Darkness chapter? You can rest assured that each level in the campaign is laden with clever little horror-laced Easter eggs for you to discover. Click down in the link below to see our previous video on Zombie Army 4's horror movie references and see how many you can find. By now, even the late great Sir Christopher Lee himself would probably take one look at your setup and say, yeah, fair enough, that is Halloween as f***. But we're not quite done yet. As anyone who sat down to watch The Exorcist at 10 PM and then thought, you know what, this is more of a morning film, will tell you, nighttime brings its own sense of atmosphere. So to complete this mission and really max out the Halloween from Zombie Army 4, you're going to have to play in the dead of night. Sorry, you just are. Everyone's a gangster until they hear the sound of clawing on the walls at 12 midnight through their headset, or indeed the rapping of a teenager's knuckles on your front door in the hope that you'll look past the fact that their costume consists of a hard stare and funnel a few mini Twixes into their pockets. Rebellion accepts no responsibility for trick-or-treaters' vengeful acts. So there you have Rebellion's own guide to achieving maximum Halloween in Zombie Army 4 this Halloween. Now then, what are your most terrifying moments from the game? Does the piercing shriek of a screamer send you running to the hills? Or do you faint from the sight of blood? I mean, it's going to be tricky for you if you do. Share your spookiest moments with us in the comments below, and as always, if you watch the video, never be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Afraid, see, because no, tough crowd. We promise nothing spooky will happen to you if you do. Probably.